Welcome back to the Ready State. It is mobilization of the week, and today we're taking on a little bit different position. So normally when we go on dorsiflexion, we are all obsessed with this degree of dorsiflexion, and we sometimes fail to appreciate that I also use dorsiflexion in this position. And one of the things that happens sometimes is if I don't have 10 degrees of dorsiflexion with the leg straight, when I am running in this position, it tends to lead to compensation of the foot turning out. And if you've ever worked with people in a split position or jerking, you know that that foot loves to turn out. So here's a quick fix for it. This is predicated on a mobilization done by Brian Mulligan with a therapist. And Mulligan is a brilliant New Zealand physio. And he was really the first person who said, hey, can we do a mobilization with a movement, right? And one of the nice things about this is that I can get some pretty significant strain on this. So the setup, you can see is I have the band right above the calcaneus. So just pretty much as close to the calcaneus as I can in reference. What's happening now is that this allows me to get a little bit of motion in this end range position. So I can take myself with this long lever shape, keep the arch engaged, so I need to actively pick the arch up so that I don't create more compensation with a collapse. And then with that position, I can work on noodling at this end range. And what the band is doing, of course, is affecting the soft tissues, but really, we've got a stable foot and the tibia and fibula are moving past the stable foot, according to sort of classic joint mobilization rules of roll, slide, and glide. So this part is articulating here. When we usually mobilize from the front, we are moving the foot or keeping the foot on stable and we're moving the other direction. So in this sense, I know it feels like we're going a different direction with the band, but we're not actually on the heel, we're on the shin bones. And that's an important distinction as we're trying to move in this position. And what's nice is that this allows me to get my butt on. I can load the fascia even just by bending and straightening and trying to improve how this whole system is working. And when I hit this end range, I'm like, oh, there it is. I feel that range. And this allows me then to fight into the different corners, keep the butt on, work on into extension, flex the leg and back. Noodle around with this position for a minute or so, take a break if you need. Time under tension is part of the magic. And since you're already here, whoa, that's a big dismount. Since you're already in this position, one of the things that we can do is we can actually now put the band down on the actual calcaneus, and I can actually work on plantar flexion. So now I'm trying to move the shin backwards and going in a different direction, so the band on the foot obeys the rules, and now I've got better force moving the calcaneus in that direction as I work on my plantar flexion. So it's an easy setup to restore motion in the joint in both directions. So all you have to do is move the band below where the Achilles inserts into the calcaneus, and now I have a great calcaneus mobilization in this plantar flexion. Of course, watch the dismount. It's always a little dangerous. But keeping an eye on some of these ranges in some different shapes sometimes can make a massive, massive difference. So those are a couple ways to zhuzh up your ankle function, keeping in mind kind of classic Maitland Australian style joint mobilization, joint slide glide rules with the band. Thank you, Brian Mulligan. We'll see you guys next time.